Shut it first. Got it. All right. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well over the lockdown. If you don't know me, I'm Les from Fitzone Mata. We're just going to go for a bit of a stretch class today. I'm going to try to move a bit quicker this time because, the last class I took was a bit long, about 50 minutes. So we'll try to keep it a bit quicker. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually start on the ground and we're going to go straight into some hip work. So if you were here last Sunday, you'll remember that this is the position that we start in, okay? It's going to be a bit different. What you do is you start in this position, you slowly wiggle this foot out to the side, okay? What that's going to do is open up your hips slightly so you can put both your hands down on the inside of this leg. So rocking forward, back and forward. So I want you to do 10 of these. So I'm going to go 3, 4, 5. So do 3 more. Right. Then from this position here, you take the inside hand, so the hand that's in between your leg and your arm, and you thread the needle, okay? So what you're doing is going underneath here and then coming back out, really twisting to the ceiling, push into the arm that's on the ground, come back under your armpit, reach as far as you can, and back up. So that's 2. We're going to do 3 more. 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. Okay. From here, straightening this leg out. Would have done this last Sunday. Dropping that chest down. Dropping the chest down. Try to keep this straight. Not fully locked out. If you're feeling the stretch heavily behind your knee, bend your knee slightly. But the main thing is bringing that chest down. Okay. Stretch the hammy. If it's too easy, straighten your leg right out. I want you to take 3 more deep breaths here. 1, and lengthen it. 2, lengthen it more. And 3, lengthen it a bit more. Very good. Okay, so from here, you're bringing this foot out to the side. All right, staying up nice and tall. Then what you're going to do is push your bum backwards, like you're trying to sit down on your heel. Bring your hand onto the ground a bit, and then push right back, okay? So then right back. What you're trying to stretch is this part here, okay? Adductive inside leg. Be quite intense, so use your hands to take a bit of weight. So we'll stay down here for another 3 breaths. Ready? 1, 2, go a bit lower, 3. Bring your leg back in, nice work. So what we want to do is just tap that off a bit, shake it off. Because then from here, with the leg that you are stretching, then you go into the pigeon. So what we're doing is sliding this leg straight back as far as you can. Then bringing this foot in front of the knee like that, okay? See how my sock came out there? So bring it in front. Before we drop our chest down today, what we're going to do is another thread the needle. So between the knee and the hand, take your arm, thread the needle, go as far as you can, twist out. So this is trying to get a bit of thoracic mobility, okay? Thread the needle, twisting out. 3 more of those. 2, and 1 more. 3, nice. Then from this position, Crystal's cat's trying to beat up her bunny. Now from this position, dropping your chest down. Put your hands out, take the weight, drop your elbows down. So we're staying here for 5 deep breaths. In, out. In, out. 2. As you breathe out, try to let your chest drop towards the ground. So we've got 2 more breaths in out, in, out. Nice, coming back onto your hands, bringing that foot, tucking that foot back around, and bringing both feet back. Last one for this position is coming back up to here. What we'll do is go back to the starting position. This time I want you to hands on the elbows, okay? Then you bring your hand way above your head. Cool. And then we're pushing forward. So I'll go to the side view. Here, remember it's this glute pushing forward. Trying to stretch through here. Hands above your head increases it through there. So you're going to hold that for 5 breaths. Hold it. Should be at 1 breath. Long exhale. 2 breaths. 3. So 2 more. Really push that pelvis forward, okay? Try not to arch your lower back. All right, that's good. Coming back to the starting posse. Nice work. Then the opposite legs coming up. Remember from here, we're wriggling this foot out to the side. Both hands down onto the ground. And then 5 forward pulses. So pushing forward, pulses, sorry. Pushing forward. So trying to get in this hip and back hip. In a bit of movement. 4, 5. Nice. So then threading the needle inside arm, comes under the armpit as far as you can. Come out, twist. Okay, 5 of those. 3, 4, 1 more. 5. Very good. Bring your foot back across, straightening the front leg, dropping your chest down. Chest down, dropping the chest down. If it's real easy for you, go past, get those hands on the inside of that leg and go past, get your chest to go past your knee. Cool. Remember, if it's heavy in the back of your knee, bend your knee slightly. We're trying to stretch the calves and the hammies, okay? Not the tendons behind your knees. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Nice. Let's move this couch. So, put out to the side. Sitting up nice and tall. Dropping your hips back. Putting your hands down to support yourself. Remember, in here, okay? Adductor. If it's a bit easy, drop your chest down like that as well. But that's too hard for me. So 3 deep breaths in. 2. 1 more. Ooh, very good. This leg that we're stretching again. We're coming into that pigeon. So the way we get into that position is sliding this leg straight back. Let that go straight back behind you. Wiggle this foot. See my sock come across. Before we drop our chest down, we're going into thread the needle. Okay, so in between the hand, in between you. Where am I at? Yeah, here. In between the knee and the hand, under the armpit. Coming up, twisting. Under the armpit. When you go under the armpit, reach as far as you can. Got 2 more. Okay. After you've done thread the needle, we're dropping our chest right down. Thumbs out straight. Dropping your elbows to the ground. Using your breath here. Big long exhales, okay? If it's feeling still too easy for you, move your hands away from the knee that's been stretched and drop down again. Okay. Take 2 more really big breaths, extra long exhale. Just checking everyone's thing. All right. That's it. Staying with that same leg, we're bringing it up to here again. Okay. Hugging the elbows. Up above the head. Really pushing forward, pushing your hips and pelvis forward. Okay, I'll show you. Side on. Hips and pelvis forward. What we want to avoid is arching this lower back. Don't arch, just pushing. Pushing those hips forward, okay? Stay here, we'll do another 3 long breaths. Every time you exhale, I want it to be a long exhale, and then you're pushing forward, okay? On the exhale is where your muscles are going to release. So take another deep breath, 1 more, and then pushing all the way forward. Okay, very good. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to start in this position, a high plank position. Cool. Up here like this. And then we're going to go into a downward dog. If you've done yoga before, you will see, you would have done it before. The trick is, if you watch this part of my body, is that your bum's going straight up. Cool. And then what you're doing is pushing with your arms, your chest towards your knees. Now, if it's really hard to do it with your legs straight, you can keep your knees bent. But it's all about that pushing your chest towards your knees and trying to get up really high. Okay, I'm just going to have a flick through while you do that. So hips up in the air, head down, head pushing your chest towards your knees. Sorry, I'm covering the camera. Looks good. So from here, come back down to flat back position. And what you're going to do is you're going to stack. You're going to stack 1 foot on top of the other, then you're going to go up again. Okay? So stacking 1 foot on top of the other, and then going really up high into the downward dog. You should be feeling this in your calf and your hamstrings, and your hips should be going right up in the air. Okay, come back down to the flat back again. Swap legs over. Cool, stack that foot up behind and coming up. And right up high into the air as far as you can. Looks really good, Gayleen. And do 1 more. Nice work. Nice work. So just shake your leg off a bit. That can be a bit of a hard one on the shoulders too. So just sit back and have a bit of a relax like this, okay? What we're going to do, we're giving your legs a rest here. I want you to sit onto your heels. Cool. And then we're just going to give the shoulders a little twist. What you can do is hug this arm around. It's all about closing the gap in between your bicep and your chest, okay? Like that. Other side. Cool, coming up. Touching the back of the neck with your hand and using your other hand to lift your elbow up, okay? Other side. Cool. So today what we're going to do a bit of work on stretching the chest a bit more. Well, we're just going to do 2 other stretches for it compared to the other day. But they're a little bit technical, so you just have to bear with me and watch. Okay, so we're going to be lying down. Your hands up here next to your shoulders. What you then do is straighten one hand out, okay? Cool. And then from here, you lift up the opposite foot and then do a slight back twist. So what I want you to do is watch me here. I've got my other hand up here for support. I'm lifting my leg up and then I'm twisting over, okay? So you need to go really, really, really slowly on this. Try to keep your head down and twisting. You'll feel it. So I'll do another view. Here, wait. Go real slow. You should feel this in your shoulder. You should have 2 hands on the ground at all times. One arm that's flat, one that's holding, taking pressure for you. Cool. Come back to the middle. Use your tummy. We'll go again on the other side, okay? So arm out straight. Just hands up here to support the weight. What I'm then doing is flicking my foot up and coming over. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And coming back to the middle. Everyone looks like they're doing that well. So from this is the same as that last stretch, except for what you're doing here with this arm is it's coming up into a 90 degree instead of being out straight. So this is where it's going to be quite an intense stretch. So you have to, as you're tipping over, go really slow and have this hand up here supporting you, okay? So I'll show you an example. So my hand's up at 90 and then I'm coming over, same thing. Also, you want to make sure that your elbow's in line with your shoulder, okay? And your elbow's flat on the ground. And then tipping over. Looks good, Jasmine. It still looks good. Nice, Samara. How's it? Hold it there for a little bit longer, okay? You got to give time for that muscle to release. It should feel quite an intense stretch. And then come back to the middle. Changing hand position to the other side. Up, and then tipping over. A little bit longer. Remember using your breath. Long exhale to release that muscle. And that's it. Nice. Come back to the middle. So that's another way of stretching the pec. It's quite a bit deeper, and you just got to be careful while you do it. So then we're flipping over. We're doing lower back twists. Okay. If you're like me, you've been doing a lot of sitting down during the lockdown. So just follow my instructions for this one. I'll give you out loud. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your right leg. You're going to bring your right knee up like this, right side. Taking your left hand on the outside of the right knee. Keeping your right shoulder down. Lower back twist. From there, to increase it slightly, you can straighten that leg out away from you, okay? Also, you can take your hand and keep that left hand on your right leg and put a little bit of downward pressure. But the main thing is that you maintain both shoulders on the ground, okay? Using your core, come back to the middle. So we're going to do twice on this one. So come back to the middle. So this time bringing your left knee up. Your right leg's out straight. Left hand on the outside, right hand on the outside of your left knee, and then tipping over. So this is a really good one for your lower back. What you can actually do is push your knee on a straight downwards direction towards the ground. That'll give you a little bit of glute stretch as well. And you can, well, we'll tell you on the next one. 2 more breaths here. Cool, and then bringing your leg, using your core, coming back over. Okay, what we're gonna do on this one is the same thing, but I'll show you how to have a quick look at me. So while I'm coming over here like this is what I mean by the downward pressure, bringing that knee down. And then what you can also do when you straighten your leg is you can bring it up or down, okay? So the further up your brain, it'll be a bit more lower back. When you go back down and push your knee towards the ground, it'll give you a bit more glutes, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to the right leg. Left hand on the outside of the right leg, coming over like before. Now I want you to play with whether you keep your knee up towards your chest or away from your chest, okay? Find somewhere that feels like it needs tension. It needs, find a bit of tension that needs stretching, sorry. That looks good. Use your breath and then make an effort to pull the opposite shoulder back onto the ground. Straighten that leg out. And 2 more deep breaths. Nice, using your core, bring your legs back over. And then we're doing the opposite side. So left leg up, right hand on the outside. Tipping over. So remember, you're playing with the movement of the knee, whether your knee's coming up towards your chest or away from your chest. You're also putting a slight downward pressure on your knee towards the ground. Try not to push directly on the knee joint. Pushing on the leg bone is better. And then straighten that leg out. Your foot should be moving away from you, increases it again. And then find a spot of tension and breathe into it with 2 deep breaths. Okay, that's good. All right. Very good. So the next one we're doing, it's going to be a good stretch for the, it's a very good stretch, but it's going to be a really good stretch for the flexible people, AKA not me. But what we're going to do, sit in like this. What you're doing is you're tucking this back foot around like this, okay? So this one where you're going to really need to use your breath. This is my leg that's tucked. So the opposite elbow, I'm dropping down to the ground. Now the trick is if you're really good, you can drop your other elbow back down to the ground slowly, okay? So if you don't know, the foot's tucked under, and then what you're essentially doing is trying to lie back and lie down, okay? Only go within what your body allows you to, so don't force it. Find a spot of tension and breathe into it. Make sure that foot's tucked in, and you're at the back here, you want your foot to be flat from the ground, like that, okay? Flat, so not like that, you want it to be flat, okay? Keep breathing, we'll stay there for, yeah, looks good. Nice, Sarah, lying down, far out. Sure, okay. 2 more deep breaths. It's really quite intense in the quad and the ankle, but you got this. Cool, and that's it. So now what we're gonna do is for the other side as well. So, sitting here, tucking it around, dropping the opposite elbow to the leg that's tucked onto the ground. And then trying to Slowly work that other side down. Okay. Heaps of long exhales. It's quite intense, so just breathe into it. Nice, and that's time there. Cool. Pretty good on that one. All right, so now we're just going to do some tabletop stuff. So we'll start in this position. Okay. So see, I've got my knees underneath my hip here. And you would have seen this on yoga poses, is arching your back head to the ceiling. Cool. And then you're lifting. So it's this part of the body here that's actually lifting up towards the ceiling. You push into your hands, roll your head down, and try to push your body away from the ground as much as you can. Bring it down, head up, arch your back, okay? So now you do it with your breath. So breathe in, tuck your bum in, pull your shoulder blades towards the ceiling, put your head down, breathe out, head up, arch that back. And again, breathe in, down, arch the back and up. Breathe in. Last one. Push your body away. Breathe out. Head up. Okay. Very good. Very good. So from here, walking our hands away. Again, keeping your bum off your heels. Walking your hands up, away slightly. And then just dropping that chest towards the ground. So see how my hips stay up? It gives me more ability to be able to get my chest towards the ground. I'm trying to really stretch out the shoulders here. What you can do is keep wriggling your hands further and further away from you to give you a bit more length. Stay here for 2 more breaths. In, out, in, out. Slowly walking your hands back to here. And then I want you to, for this one, I want you to have your knees together, okay? And then we're gonna push all the way back to here. Okay, but don't worry about the upper body yet. Try to get your bum down as far as you can. Put your hands out and drop. Drop those. See, I'm pushing my elbows towards the ground. If it's too easy, just keep walking your hands out further and try to push your elbows to the ground. Ideally, your elbows will be hard to get down there unless you're super flexible. Very good. Keep breathing. Okay, slowly coming up to here. Hands on the back of your heels. Cool. Feet a bit wider apart. So you can start here or start on the ground. All we're doing is coming to this. Get back. Keep the breathing, shoulders back. A little bit longer. And down. Coming all the way down to the ground. And very slowly, remember, keeping your pelvis on the ground, lifting your chest up. Get back. Breathe into it. All right, nice. Come all the way down slowly. And to the side, when you push up, lift your stomach off the ground. Use your core. Shake it off, then we're going to stand up, okay? We're going to be standing. Okay. So now what we're doing is a few standing stretches. What we're going to do first is the feet together. So we're going to try to stretch down each side. Going up, high as you can, out. Your breath, remember you're pushing your hip away from you. Also now, shift your gaze towards the ceiling. And then straighten your arms out above your head a bit more. From here, take a deep breath in, come to the middle. And breathe out and go the other way. Remember, keeping those biceps on the ears, pushing your hip away from you. Now shift your gaze to the ceiling. Keep breathing. From here, take a deep breath in, come to the middle. Stay as you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see. And then breathe out. Pushing your hips forward. Slowly. Dropping your head back. Try to relax. One more breath. Come back to the middle. All the way down. What we're doing, taking your hands, grabbing onto these calves tight. See how my knees are really bent. From here, I'm making an act of straightening my legs, but I'm resisting that movement by holding my calves. You feel it really deep, stretching the hammies. Okay, so do that now. Hold on to your ankles. Do the act of trying to straighten your legs. And then also with your hands on your ankles, pull your chest towards your knees. Take long breaths. Try to straighten those legs a little bit more. Pull your chest down a little bit more. Okay, from here, letting go of your ankles, stay bent over, straighten your legs. Hugging your elbows, okay, and let them dangle. So what you're doing is keeping with your legs locked out straight, hugging your elbows, you're letting your arms just dangle, okay? And now, from here, you're trying to breathe into it and let your chest drop down. A little bit of side-to-side movement. 3 deep breaths every time you exhale, trying to get lower. So in, out, in, out, in, out. Hold it here for a bit longer. Now, what we're going to do is get a little bit of more movement. So what we're trying to do is pull behind your shoulder blades up here. Keep your head down. A little bit of movement. And then just pull one side around, follow with your head. Pull one side around, follow. And to the other side, pull that side around, follow with your head. And then come all the way up nice and slow. Okay, very good. All right, so we're just going to do we're going to do one more round of the squat stretches. It's going to do 3 variations. So we're going to go regular stance, which is slightly wider than shoulder width. Turn your toes outwards. Remember, keeping your heels down at all times. We're going into a squat position, nice and low. Take your time. All the way down. So what you want to try to do is not to do this and bend over and keep your bum up. What we're trying to do is get that bum down, okay? into that position and breathe. So in, out. Each time you breathe, don't be scared to let your knees go forward. Leave your heels down. Okay. Now see my elbows. I'm using them to push my knees away. One more big long breath. Slowly coming back up. Take the legs off. What we're doing now is narrow stance. So this isn't knees together. This is probably hip width, okay? It's a bit harder because you're not going to be able to open your legs up to allow for space. So what you're going to have to do is let your knees go forward. Try to push your upper body forward a bit and then encourage your bum to come down, okay? So go now. Try to keep your heels down as much as you can. This one will test your ankle mobility. And breathe. One more. And up. Oh, almost fell over. Very good. Shake the legs off. It's pretty normal to get a little bit lightheaded after these ones. Okay. Don't worry. So what we're going to do now is get for the last one, you go a little bit wider than shoulder width. Turn your toes outwards. It's the last stretch of the day. Knees outwards as well. Coming all the way down. Really wide stance, okay? Try to keep your chest up as far as you can. Use those elbows to push your knees out. If you're very good at this, what you can do as well is use this hand and twist. Get a little bit of a twist going. Change sides. Hands off now. Try to go down as low as you can. Sink into the hips. Breathe. One more. And all the way up. Okay. Cool. And that's all for today. That was 40 odd minutes. Hopefully we go down to level 3. Hey. Enjoy the rest of your day.